Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mic Drop, a presentation of Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching. Today is a special episode. We are still featuring guests from the media industry, but today we have three of our fabulous coaches because Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching has a major announcement. We're here to talk to you about our inaugural Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching Boot Camp. Let's go to Dave Shore.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We're looking forward to it in April. The Portsmouth Invitational tournament has been going on for a number of years, and it brings in scouts from the NBA. Each and every team sends somebody there, whether it be from their front office or a scout. And some of the global teams from around the world also come there because the 64 top seniors in college basketball are invited to come and play a round-robin tournament. And they put teams, 8 of them, with about 7 to 8 players on each team, and they play for a couple of days, and each of the scouts are able to put down how they perform against each other. And so you see the true talents of these guys as they try to see if they can make it to the top of the draft, with the NBA draft coming up a short time after that. And of course, the global teams will sign some players to come overseas as well. So it's a tremendous opportunity. The event is there. This time, we're going to bring emerging broadcasters to get a chance to cover the event. And it's a unique event. And for anyone who has done reporting before, maybe just on a college or a high school level, this is going to give you a chance to be around pros, and it's going to give you a chance to do interviews on the fly, give recaps as to what happened that day. And as a former sideline reporter in the NBA for many, many years, the value of being able to do something in real time is so good. And you'll get this experience with us looking over your shoulder, giving you some advice, but more importantly, in the end, you'll be more experienced and you'll have a demo tape as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Antoine, why don't you tell what you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to the fact that we are at an event and we're bringing people to a live event. So I wish this was around. I wish I had done this. I've been in the business for more than 30 years, but the immersive experience is what I'm looking forward to. People come, they're going to be coached by pros as well, and people who are in the business doing things now. And two things you have to stand out when you're looking in today's market, which is very crowded and it's very difficult, but you have to have foundational skills to be what they call multimedia journalists. So you have to do all the things, be able to identify how to shoot, how to put stories together. We're giving them this experience, but you also have to be unique. And I think that we're going to have the opportunity to take what individuals bring to the table, break it down, have them find their unique voice and be coached by pros, and all this with an actual event. So it's going to be a great experience, and I can't wait till we get started. And everybody who comes down, you will leave, you will be better with this team, trust me. And David, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I love, like you, I wish I had this opportunity. I was a 5-time intern, and I'm telling you, what we're planning for attendees to this camp, because in 3 days, you're going to get more experience than you might over 3 or 4 weeks at a broadcast outlet. So, yes, a live event, players on the rise that someday may be NBA or worldwide all-stars, and the opportunity to literally use the equipment, be in front of the camera, and get feedback from pros like ourselves. Now, some of this stuff will go directly on the website, right, Dave? It'll go possibly on local stations. We have it set up for your success that when you walk away, not only do you have a clip or two for your reel, but you have walked away with more experience. I was always psyched as a school, in university and even just afterwards, getting that experience that other people weren't, getting a leg up in this very competitive business.
Very well said by all of you. I think one of the things that none of you mentioned that we're also going to provide because it's critical to the success
Lunch?
of these
We're
lunch.
providing lunch?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, David. I was going to hold
Yeah.
that as a bonus
I
item.
love
but-
lunch.
Lunch is good. It's going to be your fuel for the games because they're in the afternoon and evenings. But there will be some classroom time. Our focus is not the classroom, but we do have a classroom setting where we will all be together. We will talk about what it takes to be successful in these roles, what your assignments will be. We're going to focus on immediate feedback the next morning from what happened the day before in the work that you did and the games that you did. So it's very immersive. It's very immediate in the sense that you work and the next day you're reviewing and getting ready for the next game. That I think is really important, and you all have lived it firsthand, is this is live. It's live games, it's live work that you're going to be doing, and it's also it's a 3-day, it's a 4-day tournament. We're going to be there for 3, but you're going to get the sense of what it's like to really work an event when you have to turn around the next day and do it all over again with different stories, different players, right? Different angles, all of that.
Yeah, another thing that I think is really interesting is that none of us as reporters can prepare for the type of interview that we're going to be facing. And while we'll be talking about sports and we'll be talking about a dream trying to come true for some of these athletes, you'll also have the chance to interview some of the NBA scouts that are in the stands. And they are a completely different element. They are, I won't say that they're a hard interview, but they'll be a challenging one because you'll have to ask good questions to them to find out exactly what they're looking for. And speaking of looking for, this is a very unique year that you'll always remember if you come to this event, because these young players came in without NIL in college sports. They came in without getting paid as college athletes, and they are leaving now as totally different business people. And I think that that's going to be a really interesting aspect that we can cover during this tournament.
You
David,
look
you were
up
shaking
the
your head. Did you want to?
Well, you look up the Portsmouth Invitational. I just want to drive this home.
Mhm.
Got such a great history that Dave, has covered for years. And not only are great players going to be there, not only worldwide scouts, NBA scouts, but it's the kind of atmosphere that you're only going to find in March Madness. This is guys fighting for their lives. Draft position means so much. So yeah, it's going to be a vibe in the gym, and we're bringing you right into the cauldron. Be fun.
Yeah, and the individuals, you will be able to actually cover this event, and you're going to get access, which is important. I mean, you can put reels together, you can put things together, but now you are going to have access to the players, the coaches, the event, the pageantry, put it all together, and you're going to have people coaching you to make you better, who have a wealth of knowledge. I mean, have worked on major events, Super Bowls, NBA finals, have worked with various teams on games. So it's all there, and we've set this up for you to be successful. You bring the effort, you bring the approach and the passion. And as I keep saying, you are going to leave here better, and you're going to be thankful that you came to this.
Some of the two famous names that people will remember if you remember the history of the NBA, John Stockton and Scottie Pippen were first noticed to be drafted in the NBA or to be signed into the NBA from being at the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. And that was long before social media. That was long before any kind of coverage like this. But there will be a couple young players out of this year's camp that I guarantee you, even though the NBA draft is only 2 rounds, there'll be a couple that will have risen to the top at this tournament, and you'll have covered it, and they will be signed as a free agent going into their first NBA camp.
Antoine touched on it about being an MMJ, right? A multimedia journalist. The best reporters I know at one point, slid behind the camera and learned how to operate it. The best reporters I know are damn good writers. And the best reporters I know, yeah, you're better off working with a producer, and that's what we're going to set you up with. But you got to produce yourself to elevate your own game. So that's what I'm putting together some programming on and how we're going to review you and how we're going to review each other's pieces, and we're going to have contests and prizes outside the confines. But really, it's all about watching the games, developing storylines, and then bringing that to camera.
I'd like to ask you all, as people who've been in the business for as long as you have, from the perspective of producing people. You're with them as they're trying to put these stories together and then convey it either with a talent or, as you said, David and Antoine, as a multimedia journalist, you're setting up your shot, you know what your story is, and then you have to go report on it. How do you see the participants using this experience going forward after they leave the boot camp? Any one of you can answer. You'll have.
No, and I'll start. I think that the fact that you are investing in yourself and you're getting a leg up on competition. You're doing things that other people may not have in their repertoire when they go out into the market. And
Uh-huh.
this is real life practical experience. So when you integrate into that job, or when you're in a newsroom or covering a team or wherever you are, you're going to recall this experience and you're going to be a little bit more comfortable because you've had that been real, tried, true, battle tested experience. And this is what we're going to give you. And you're going to have fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be work, and you're going to learn, and we're going to challenge you.
I got to kick David earlier, 5-time intern, right, David? But you have to figure every one of those, you gained a little bit more confidence, and I keep going back to that because if I've worked with young people, if I've hired young people at any of the media companies that I've been at, the number one thing that you look for is how confident that they are at this entry level stage, and so you have to be able to be on your feet, ad lib a little bit, and you'll learn how to do that, but you'll also learn how to work as a team because we're going to be teaching you what it's like to cover a team. Because by the time you meet these players for the first time and 2 days later, you'll know more of them and they'll know you from maybe doing a couple interviews with you. And there's something to be said about building relationships when you're covering an event or covering a team. And by the way, I know we're talking sports, but there's this tournament means so much to the Portsmouth, Virginia community. They've been doing it for 71 other years, and so it brings in local economy. It's run by volunteers. There's a bunch of stories. So if you're thinking that someday you're going to be a fantastic award-winning news reporter, this is a perfect type of environment to come to as well because there'll be plenty of good, fascinating stories that we'll tell.
Yeah, a lot of different stories, as you say, right? Outside the game per se. And we'll work with you to figure out what are those stories, but also we're going to be listening. What do you think we should talk about today? What's your pod of people going to go find out there in the gym or beyond? So yeah, officials of the event will also be available and we'll put together some strong packages. We are bringing our own super editor. So you can put some things together on your own, but we'll have a super editor to pump out all the stories because there's going to be potentially 8 pods of 4 people out there reporting on this 3-day event. It's going to be power packed. I mean, yeah, an internship is valuable. This is an actual line on your resume at a major event that everybody in sports, at least, is aware of. So it's a resume builder at the very least.
As I look at the others on the screen, I think the one thing that you're also going to gain out of this is the ability to hear and accept feedback. And that is a very big lesson that you have to learn as a young reporter out there. And I say that because over the years I've had to hire and have as broadcasters many ex-athletes, and they are tremendous at the ability to take feedback because they had to from coaches, not just because they got yelled at, but they had to watch game film afterwards. They had to watch themselves, have somebody be critical of them. And so when we all give you some feedback after that, you just can't get that in a classroom setting, and you'll walk away feeling good that you've had feedback.
Can I add to that for a second?
Please.
I think sometimes people, when they're not maybe prepared for the feedback that they receive, maybe it's a little bit more critical or constructive versus, the pat on the back that says, "Hey, great show." I think what they might be missing is that feedback is actually an investment in their success. It's not meant as a critical slight to bring their confidence down, or make them feel that they're not worthy of being where they are. Those are the steps that build you and, build your foundation to be the best that you can be, because someone's taking the time to tell you, if you tweak this, if you edit that, if you speak more slowly, if you ask one question at a time, not 3, you're going to get a better interview. And those are investments in you. So I hope, to your point, Dave, that when the participants get a chance to do the work hands on and then turn around and they might get feedback in the moment, like right after a stand up or, or a story they wrote or video that they shot, they will get it every day as a recap from the day before as well. So there's going to be a lot of feedback, that will be great for them because it will enhance their performance in the next time they go out to cover the next, set of stories or games.
It's also
Yep.
an opportunity to learn and grow and experiment a little bit with who you are in front of a camera, what you can do, what works, what doesn't work under our guidance. Because once you get into a job and you get a job, you're actually doing it on somebody's dime where they want you to give them different stories and different things under a certain type of pressure. It's not as much developmental as it is you're in the business now and you have to generate content. So I think this is an opportunity to learn and grow and walk away with professional video for your reel and wherever you're going to go, something at a big time event. This is not a small thing. I mean, you're going to be at a very important event and you're going to be covering it. So you get that, you take that away. And lastly, I'll add also, many people can figure out who they are and what they want to become in front of the camera. And a lot of people want to be personalities, but we're going to attack it from a holistic approach. Going to work on how do you write. David has hit upon this, the things that you can do behind the camera, how we putting this together. All of that is just going to make you more complete and fortify you.
And
Yeah, I was going to touch on that if you don't mind. I think as we look, we've had discussions internally, who's this best for? What is this 3-day opportunity available for? Yes, an emerging broadcaster. That's sort of the line we've put on it. That could be, high school, college. I think even someone in their first or second job that could take 3 days, join us in Virginia and really elevate your skill set right away. You're ready for maybe mid-market if you're a small market. And I believe that because you don't do a stand-up, and back me up on this, Dave, you certainly don't do a stand-up until you've crafted your story. Usually your stand-up is the last thing that's either bridging two pieces of a story or kicking it off or tagging it. So you've done the interview, you've thought about the scope of the piece, and then you do your stand-up, which is, the glue potentially for the whole story. So, yeah, how to put something together, and then once you've locked in, what are you saying to really ice it? Because when you're on camera, it's as powerful as anything.
yeah, I think we've used the word immersive, right? Because it's going to be a think tank and an experiential setting for all of you. But one thing that's interesting about the PIT tournament is other people are using this to gain some experience as well. The NBA, the WNBA have sent their young officials and referees here to get some experience. The NBA has had a program for former players who are getting into the world of coaching. So the coaches for some of the teams will be getting their first experience. You may actually see in the stands a couple of years ago, I saw Elton Brand, former NBA player, Duke star. He was there representing, I believe, the New York Knicks at the time. He was representing them as to writing down his scouting thoughts on these. Someone else that you might recognize from NCAA fame or the NBA might be getting their first a chance to coach some young people on the sideline. So it's a really incredible environment that you'll be a part of as well.
I think it sounds amazing because everybody there, it's an opportunity. And beyond Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching and the boot camp, it's an opportunity for everybody to be learning, right? The players are learning what it's like to compete at that level. We're learning how to cover stories like that, hands-on, immersed in the games and the coverage. You have the officials that might be learning, and practicing their skills, in their expertise. It's amazing. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to complement what's happening there from a sporting event and represent it in a way that we can partner with PIT to bring this boot camp forward. So this is a big deal and it's very exciting. I'm glad we get to do it. Do any of
And
you
think
want
of
to?
the stories and the friends that you'll meet as well, right? Because you're going to learn how to work as a team. If you are shooting a stand-up off of your iPhone, because that's what many, many stations use right now because of the great quality that you can get right off of your cell phone, you might have to shoot a stand-up for one of your fellow participants here in our boot camp. And so it'll give you experience doing that and helping each other. It happens in the newsroom and the news business all the time. You go out together, you shoot the stand up for the other person, they shoot a stand up for you. So it'll be a really good chance to see what life is like once you get into the news media.
Dave, is there anything that you can share about the tournament that we don't know about, that the participants wouldn't know about, that just make it extra special as an attendee?
I think you'll walk away realizing you're a part of something that's pretty incredible.
Mm.
And you'll also walk away going, I'm sorry, I was embarrassed. I didn't even know this went on. Still, many people don't realize it because it doesn't get like a national TV coverage. It comes at a great time. It comes about a week and a half after the NCAA Final Four. And then it comes right before the NBA has their draft in June. So,
Mhm.
it's really, you walk away, and then plus it's in such a great setting. Portsmouth, Virginia is a beautiful area, and it's in a high school gym. And so there's kind of that feel like you're right on top of the action. I know as a sideline reporter, half of what I did in sideline reports in the NBA is reporting on what I saw because I had the best vantage point. I was right behind the Lakers huddle during a timeout. And so I didn't have any of that scripted, but I heard something that I found was very interesting for the broadcast. And you'll be able to do that and see that because this is a really closed setting, being in a high school gymnasium. And by the way, you'll get to see a lot of great basketball as well.
Antoine, David, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I would add that to me, the greatest learning ground, as I thought I was getting better and better as a journalist and in the industry. But the greatest learning ground for me was when I covered live events. And covering live events will teach you a lot. You'll learn a lot about yourself. It's not something that's scripted. It's not going to always go the way you want it to go. People are not going to be exactly in the spots that you want them to be in. And you are going to have to pivot and learn. But we call that the real world. So you are going to learn how to adjust, how to handle yourself, how to put things together, put pieces together at a real live event. And to me, that's the exciting part about it, that you're at an event that is going on and you're covering it.
And what goes along with that is the tingles, that feeling you get in the back of your neck where, "Oh, this is happening now live right in front of me and it's time to perform." A quick anecdote, my first job was with the Phillies broadcasts. So every game, I was the graphics coordinator in the studio. But on Friday night home games, I would get to go down to the Phillies games, and I'm putting together features for the next pregame show. And darn it, if it's not me, my camera guy, a microphone, and an MLB All-Star, right? I mean, I'm only going to talk to the stars. Why would I bother otherwise, right? So to get the best stories, but right, Dave? You get seconds. You got to get your thoughts together ahead of time.
Right.
But when it's time, they're not waiting on you. That you get that tingle, you get that immediacy of, all right, perform now. And once you've done that 5 to 12 to 2,000 times, you get used to it. And this is your chance right here.
I think that's a great way, to sort of wrap that into what this sort of experiential life cycle will be, because it is the prep, the execution, the follow-up, the prep, and you do that through the whole tournament. And what, as executives, when we're hiring journalists, whether it's an anchor, a reporter, a play-by-play, an analyst, whatever the role is, a producer, any of it, it's, I'm losing my train of thought now with what I was just going to say, but it's the reps. You always hear you need more reps as you're starting out. And it's like the chicken and the egg. I can't get the reps if you don't give me the opportunity, right? But you need events like this where you can come in and learn how to do this and not be under the global microscope of a multinational broadcast entity who needs you to be the best you can possibly be when they hire you, not the entry level, right? So you get to do this for 3 days. And as you all have said, walk away with clips for your reel, a line on your resume that you covered this event, new connections in the broadcast media world, in the sports world, and even with the coaches and the officials. It's going to be it's just an amazing opportunity, and it's quick. 3 days, you're in, you're out, and you have all this material. So it's going
And
to be
by the way,
fantastic.
real quick, Meg, Terrific. That's really well put. And if
Yeah.
let's say the dates don't work for you, we've got some dates in April that this event is happening. We can't change them. We're going to be there. If you can't make those dates for one reason or another, go to Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching. Go to cannbroadcastcoaching.com and sign up for, an evaluation. Maybe you get 3 or 6 sessions with one or all of us, and you are well on your way to being more prepared for the business itself.
You just reminded me of a really important aspect of this boot camp. We have a special actually for the first 10 registrants. They get a free coaching session with one of the coaches from Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching. So that's, to your point, David, is almost a little leg up right there. Is you can have that before or after this experience, but you'll be able to spend time with a coach. You can talk about any aspect of your work, this business, production, how to tell a better story, how to shoot a better story, how to write a better story, any of it, it's at your disposal, when you're ready. So just to repeat what you just said, for more information, please go to cambroadcastcoaching.com. You will see on our website the reference to the PIT tournament, our Kann Broadcast Talent Coaching Boot Camp. Please sign up with us and please come, because it's just going to be a wonderful experience, and it might even be life-changing for those of you who take advantage of it.